Ever get that vibe from a kid? Like, they just seem too knowing. It's almost spooky how much they get the world.
Oh, totally. Like they're tuned into something beyond their years, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Makes you question that whole innocence of childhood thing.
Exactly. Which brings us to today's deep dive. We're tackling the bad seed. But hold on, not the whole movie. This is about one scene broken down in a YouTube essay someone sent us. Wild how much one scene can spark. Rest.
Seriously, a good scene, it's like this little world of the whole story. In this one, you've got Rhoda, the little girl, and Leroy, the handyman. The essay's all about the power dynamic there, which is creepy to unpack.
Okay, so quick film recap for anyone who hasn't seen it. Rhoda might be a psychopath. And before we go further, got to be careful with that word. Psychopath, it's not just like, oh, they're creepy. It's a clinical thing, right?
Yeah.
No empathy, no guilt. Usually good at messing with people. And this scene, the essay says, Rhoda's putting on a real show.
Totally. Like, picture this. She's playing with dolls, the very picture of innocence. And the stage directions even say stuff like, looking cute and innocent wouldn't melt butter. It's the filmmaker's way of saying, hey, something's up right off the bat.
It's like that overly sweet candy, you just know it's fake. So I wonder, when does that start, that whole persona thing? Do we learn it as kids? Like, figure out the world to get what we want?
Oh, for sure. Psychologists, they're all over that. Even little kids, we learn to present a certain way. Like, what gets you attention, what doesn't. We adapt. Not saying all kids are masterminds, but we're watching, figuring out how to fit in.
Which brings us to Leroy. He's not buying Rhoda's act one bit, and then bam, he drops these heavy accusations. Apparently, he's been hearing things about Rhoda. Stuff about her beating up another kid, even chasing him out on a wharf. Can you believe that?
And that line, ugh, the essay points it out. Leroy says, I've been hearing things about you that ain't nice. Chills, right? Even without the visuals, that line just hangs there. Like, what happened?
See, and that's the filmmaker, right? Hooking us with the mystery. Is Leroy for real about Rhoda? Or is this his own messed up stuff he's putting on her? Either way, it's unsettling.
Absolutely, because if Leroy's right, whoa, we got a kid doing scary stuff. But if he's wrong, then it's how adults see kids, you know, especially when the kid doesn't fit that perfect little mold.
And remember, it's still early in the film, so as viewers, we're already primed to doubt everyone. But it's not just Rhoda, right? Leroy, he's a whole other can of worms. He seems to get off knowing this secret about Rhoda.
You got it. Like, it gives him power, even if it makes Rhoda look bad. And that opens up this whole thing about adults. Why does Leroy confront her like this? What's his deal?
It's creepy, almost like he's playing with her. He dances around actually threatening her, but there are these hints, cops, stick bloodhounds. That power dynamic is just tossed off.
Exactly. Like a sick game where he's in charge. And this is where the essay gets really smart. It's not just about them as characters anymore. It's about power, how we see things, how that messes with relationships, especially families, communities, like bigger picture stuff.
And it goes back to kids putting on a front. Here's Rhoda, maybe facing huge trouble, but she's ice cold. Is she that good at manipulating? Or is it just how she copes? Like, she doesn't even get it.
That's what sticks with you, right? That eerie calmness. If she's guilty, that's terrifying. But if she's innocent, and it's Leroy pulling the strings, then her being calm, that's strength. Like, she's holding on even when she's being completely falsely accused, which makes the whole thing worse, right?
Total mind trip. Like, we're watching this masterclass in denial, but what if she's not even lying? And the essay even points out Rhoda's not freaking out, no tears, just weirdly chill.
It's that creepy calm that gets you, right? I mean, if she did it, that's some scary detachment.
Right.
But if she's innocent, Leroy's the messed up one. Her being calm, that's kind of powerful. Like, she's holding it together even when she's being railroaded.
See, that's what's so messed up about this scene. We're stuck, right? Who do you believe? What even is the truth? And then, scene ends. Rhoda's mom calls her in for dinner, totally shuts Leroy down.
It's like the essay says, mom walking in, it flips everything.
Yes.
1 minute, Leroy's all ominous, like he's got this power. Next minute, he's getting scolded like a kid himself.
Adults, am I right? But not in a good way. And here's the thing, we never find out what went down on that wharf. Did Rhoda do something awful? Or was Leroy making it up, exaggerating? We're left hanging.
Classic bad seed, right? Doesn't give you easy answers, makes you deal with the icky stuff. Like, people can be messed up, even kids, right?
And come on, this isn't just movies, is it? Happens all the time. We label kids good or bad so fast. Or it's like adults, we put our own baggage onto kids. Can really screw them up.
That's the heart of it, you see. The movie, it's not just about a creepy kid. It's about how we treat childhood, you know? We love the idea of innocence, but then we're scared of the bad stuff. And that fear, we miss what's really going on with kids.
Like we're so busy stuffing them into boxes, good, bad, angel, devil, that we miss who they are, their own stories, what makes them tick. Even that they can be good and bad sometimes.
Exactly. And that thing you said before, kids who are too knowing. Maybe it's not that they're little manipulators. Maybe it's just that they figured out this world where everything is about how you look, not who you are. And being vulnerable, that gets you punished.
Man, that's heavy. Makes you think maybe it's us? Like, are we wired to see kids' behavior as worse just because it freaks us out? Like, it breaks our idea of what childhood should be.
That's a good question. And it means we got to be careful how we talk about this stuff. We've all got our biases.
Totally. Because if we're not, those biases, they mess up how we treat kids, how we see them, even how they see themselves.
And isn't that what's so cool about this scene? It's tiny, part of a bigger movie, but look where it took us. Psychology, what we expect from people, the whole good versus evil thing.
It really makes you think, this whole scene. It's like, forget Rhoda for a second, the adults, right? Leroy's more interested than scared of this dark side of her and her mom. Total denial. This is like they're both blind to what's right there.
And that's what the essay says is the freakiest part. Not Rhoda herself, but how grown-ups react. Leroy's so busy wanting control, wanting to be in the know, he misses everything else. And Rhoda's mom, image is everything. Perfect family, la-di-da, anything cracks that, nope, not happening.
So they're both playing pretend, basically, and it's the kid who loses out.
Exactly, and that's messed up, right?
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, how often does this go on? Not just the dramatic movie stuff, but we brush off how kids act all the time. Oh, it's a phase, kids will be kids, instead of, like, actually listening.
Yeah.
Even if it's hard to hear.
So maybe we're the problem sometimes, not on purpose, but we don't want to see it, right? Anything that breaks our idea of what kids should be.
And that's why the Bad Seed is so good. It's like it's showing us ourselves, our own fears, our own hang-ups, makes us face the fact that people are complicated. And, yeah, kids too.
Man, what a trip this deep dive has been. Started with some YouTube essay about one scene, and we're talking psychology, how the world sees kids, good and evil. Wild how these things branch out.
Totally. And hey, anyone listening, if this scene got you thinking, go watch the whole movie. Even if you've seen it before, there's so much to unpack here.
Proof that even the classics can still surprise you. Big thanks for joining us on this one. We'll be back soon with another deep dive, something else to get those brain cells firing. Until then, keep asking questions, keep those conversations going.